everyone? Welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are doing well today. As you guys can tell by today's background, by my jumper, and by the video title, today we are kickstarting the Halloween series of the year. Every single year I wait until October hits and I'm just like, yep, I am so excited to film so much Halloween content for you guys this year. In today's video, I'm bringing you guys 10 different last minute Halloween makeup looks to get those creative juices running. I hope you guys get some inspiration from this. I actually did a video like this last year, which you guys really enjoyed. If you haven't seen that, here are the looks that I created last year. There was another 10 of them. It took a long time. This video is probably also going to take a long time, so make sure you smash that thumbs up down below. I actually have a whole Halloween playlist on my channel, so if you guys want to binge watch some of those videos, I'll link it in the description as well as the eye. If you guys are new here and you guys haven't seen my face before, hi, I'm Roxy. Welcome to my channel. If you guys want to stick around, make sure you guys subscribe down below. But without further rambling, we have 10 different last minute Halloween looks to get through, so let's get on into the video. Alright guys, so the very first look is this glam version of Pennywise, and I'm so happy with how this turned out. So the first thing you're gonna need is a red eyeshadow. The one I'm taking is the shade Ariel from my ROXXI Revolution Ride or Die palette, and I'm using this on a really big fluffy brush to sort of map out the shape of the makeup look. What you want to do is almost create triangular shapes above your eyes and also below your eyes, and then I'm also taking that same shade on a smaller brush and blending that all over my lid and kind of fanning it out into like a cat eye sort of shape. I'm then taking that same shade and applying this in a circular motion on my nose as well as around the edges of my lips to make my lipstick look really smeared. Next, you want to draw a line connecting the corners of your lips and the underneath of like the center of your eye. This is obviously a very iconic look for Pennywise, so I'm just replicating that. Lastly, I then went over the lines and it kind of just enhanced everything with a darker brown shade. Next, I'm taking the shade Fireplace from my ROXXI Revolution Cozy Vibes palette, and I'm just applying that in the center of my eye just to add a little bit of sparkle and glam. And then I'm just using my ROXXI Revolution liner to create a wing liner and then finishing off with some lashes. It wouldn't be a Pennywise look without a red lipstick, so I'm just applying that and kind of blending and buffing it away at the edges to make it more smeared. And then it's time for the details. I'm just applying some freckles all over and then kind of just applying some highlights with a white liquid liner. This is really gonna bring the look to life and just add a little bit more detail and highlight. And that is the finished Glam Pennywise makeup look for Halloween. I love how this turned out. It was so easy to achieve, and I feel like you could make it way scarier if you added some fake blood, so it's all down to you guys. Now look number 2 is kind of like this hybrid of pop art slash comic book character kind of vibes. I love this so much. For this look, I'm going to be using the Beauty Bay Bright Mattes palette. So firstly, I'm taking one of the yellow shades and I'm applying that on my cheekbone, and then I'm doing the same thing on the other side but with pink. I'm then using an orange on my left temple and a green on my right temple. So we've got a bit of a rainbow theme going on here. Next, I'm going to focus on the eyes. So I'm just applying a pink shade all over my left lid and a blue all over my right eye. I'm then taking a metallic silver shade and just applying that almost like a spotlight on the center of the eye, and then again I'm just creating a simple winged liner. I'm not gonna stop there though. I am gonna use the eyeliner to almost create like a fake crease on my eyes and then add all the sort of like comic book detailing to make myself look like I'm two-dimensional. So I'm basically just using my eyeliner to almost highlight the areas that are most prominent of my face and really kind of exaggerate them in a comic book sort of manner. To emulate that, I'm also tracing around my eyebrows as well as my lips, and I feel like this looks really effective. It's now time for the super iconic kind of comic book highlights. So I'm just using a simple white liquid liner, and I'm kind of just again going over the prominent areas where I would naturally have highlight on my face, such as the bridge of my nose, cheekbones, chin, etc. I just paired the look with a blonde wig because I feel like it's so iconic for comic book characters to have like super bright colored hair. So I love how this whole look turned out. I hope you guys like it too. This next look is this dead princess kind of Halloween makeup look. I love this makeup illusion so much. It's kind of like a sliced face that reveals the skull underneath, and it's so easy to do. So the first thing you want to do is grab an eyebrow pencil or whatever thin kind of pencil you have laying around, and you want to create this slanted straight line across your face. What really helps to get this right is if you look straight into the mirror and just kind of follow a straight line as best as you can. After that, it's basically as if you're just drawing a regular regular skull on your face, but obviously you're trying to stay within this little segment that you have just created. So I've just drawn on the nose, the little hollows of the eyes, and then also marking out where the teeth will be. After that, it's time to fill it in. So I'm just taking some white water-based face paint from Snazaroo, and I'm just using a small brush to kind of fill in all the white parts of the skull. Next, I'm taking a gray shadow from one of the Halloween palettes from Revolution, and I'm just using this to kind of create the shading and a little bit more depth to the skull. After that, you want to take a black eyeliner and start actually carving out the shapes that you have created previously. Obviously, these are the parts that are kind of inset inside the skull, so you want them to be as dark and black as possible. To add a bit more detail, I'm then going in with a black liner that's liquid, and I'm kind of just outlining the whole entire shape of the skull just to make it really nice and neat. And then using that same liner, I'm also going in and kind of adding a little bit of detail such as cracks to the skull, etc. I'm then going back in with the dark gray matte shade on a precise brush and just kind of doing a little bit more shading around the teeth, around the nose, and also kind of accentuating the brow bone too. And then lastly, I'm creating those highlights with the white liquid liner kind of all over the place just to really bring the skull to life, as if that's even possible. For the eyes, I'm dipping back into my ROXXsaurus Revolution Color Burst palette, and I'm using the shade Fetch all over the lid. I'm then using the P. Louise base to carve out almost like a half cut crease, and then over that I'm going in with the white shade called Timmy from the same Color Burst eyeshadow palette. Moving on, I'm then applying a pink lipstick to the remainder of my lip that's exposed, and then I'm going in with a pink blush from the ROXXsaurus Revolution Blush Burst palette, and I'm just kind of going ham with that. I really want that pinkiness to kind of come through with this look. This look would simply not be complete without some lashes. I'm using these Eldora ones, which are so freaking extreme and long, and this is the finished look. I am so in love with it. I just love how cute it is, but really creepy at the same time. I feel like this is a super low maintenance and just really easy way to create a skull for Halloween. There's a lot less face paint, so it's super easy to remove as well. The next look, I mean, do I even have to explain it? Of course, it's a glam version of the Queen of Hearts. I love how this look turned out as well. It's honestly probably my favorite of the whole video. So first things first, you want to take your white face paint on a beauty blender to get the most kind of smooth finish, and I'm just applying that all over my face as well as my neck. I'm then going in with my ROXXsaurus Revolution Blush Burst palette, and I'm just applying some of the blushes onto my cheeks. Using a super precise brow pencil, I'm then starting to draw the heart over my right eye, and again, it helps if you look straight to kind of make sure that the heart is not wonky. Now for this part, you could use a red face paint to fill this in. However, I didn't have any, so I'm just using a red lipstick, which isn't too drying around the eye. You definitely want to make sure that whatever you use isn't too dry. I also use that same lipstick over my lips to create this almost heart shape, and then once that's all done, I'm then taking my eyeliner once again, and I'm kind of tracing around every single shape I've created just to make everything nice and bold and really defined. Next, I'm taking a blue shade from the Beauty Bay palette, and I'm just applying that kind of all over my left eyelid, and then I'm taking the shade Sky from the Color Burst palette and just kind of creating a spotlight effect with that. It's then time for the eyeliner and lashes, which is pretty standard. And then the last thing I really wanted to do with this look is almost create like this collar sort of effect on my neck. So using a black face paint, I'm creating this almost like checkered effect, and then I'm going in with the red lipstick and creating little hearts that are kind of supposed to look like tiny little buttons. Lastly, to define the heart on my face, I'm just going around the inner parts of the edges with a darker brown sort of shade to almost diffuse that black edge that we've created. And then I'm using a slightly bigger brush to kind of buff this out into a gradient, and that is the finished look. I am honestly obsessed. I feel like it's not very hard, but it just takes a bit of time to get it to this stage. And honestly, I feel like if you do this for Halloween, everyone is going to be so impressed. The next look idea is the classic Harley Quinn look. I feel like this look just never gets old. Every Halloween I see so many people doing this, and I just love how simple it is. So firstly, I'm going to take the blue shade called Blue Lagoon from the Color Burst palette, and I'm just applying that on my right side. I'm fanning it out quite far to the sort of temple area as well as way below my eye too. I'm then taking the shade Red Velvet and applying that on the left side, and I'm doing exactly the same thing. It doesn't have to look perfect. In fact, the more more messy it looks, the better. I'm then taking a white matte shade on a flat brush and I'm just applying that in the center, almost like a spotlight effect, just to add a little bit of highlight to the look. And then I'm also using that same shade on my inner corners as well as the brow bone. It's then time for eyeliner. I'm doing, again, quite a strong wing, and then I'm also just applying some lashes over the top to really complete the eyes. And lastly, it wouldn't be a Harley Quinn look without the little black heart on her right cheek, so that's exactly what I did, and this is the complete look. I honestly love this so much. I think it's so cute, and I feel like everyone knows exactly who you're trying to be. This whole Halloween look can just be achieved with regular makeup, so I feel like you don't have to have loads of products. And where there is Harley, there is also the Joker. I feel like these two looks combined would make such a cool Halloween duo if you're going to a Halloween party with your best friend. So for this look, I'm taking the shade Memories from the Color Burst palette and I'm just applying that all over the lid as well as on my lower lash line. And then on top of that, I'm using the shade Botanical, which is this gorgeous shimmery green shade. And again, I'm using that as like a spotlight. Now for the eyeliner, I'm again doing a winged liner, but I am also taking the liner into the inner corners for that more villain kind of vibe. I'm then using the same liner to create the tattoos on the face, and obviously when you write this on your face, especially the J, make sure you do it the wrong way around, so the opposite way to what you would usually do, because obviously then the person looking at you can read it. I'm then using some red lipstick to kind of smear it with my fingers into that Joker smile. I'm then also adding some lashes to my eyes, and lastly I'm also gonna contour my face just a tad, so I'm using my ROXXI Revolution highlight and contour palette for this. To complete the look, I just popped on a green wig. If you don't have a green wig, you can always go for a kind of like semi-permanent spray that you can always wash out. And yeah, this is the finished look. I love it so much. The next look is slightly more low-key. There's not much face paint going on or anything, but I still feel like it's very artsy and very Halloween appropriate. I actually saw a look like this on Pinterest and I was really inspired by it. So firstly, I'm going to take the shade Draco from my ROXXI Revolution Ride or Die palette and I'm just applying that on my lower lash line and kind of doing that whole reversed cat eye with it. I am then finishing off the eyes with my regular wing liner as usual, and then I'm taking my precise brow pencil to kind of draw out the shape of the snake on my cheek. I feel like it's always a good idea to kind of trace the shape that you're gonna draw before you actually go in with the black liner, because obviously it's way harder to remove if you mess up. So I'm then just tracing along the line with the black liner to really emphasize the shape, and then once I've drawn that, I'm then going in with the liner and kind of creating little dots all inside the snake to create like the snake texture. You could try and draw scales, but I feel like this was just way easier to just create little dots all over. I'm then lining my lips with a black liner and then filling in with a black liquid lipstick, and then also taking that same shade Draco from earlier and just kind of patting it in the center of the lip for a slight pop of color, and then just finishing off with a shiny lip gloss over the top. And this is the finished look. I feel like it's so cool. It still looks like you tried without actually trying, so this is a really easy one. This next look is a half angel, half devil kind of look. It's that whole play on, you know, having an angel on one shoulder and the devil on the other. I feel like this is a really simple and understated look as well that can totally just be achieved with makeup you have laying around anyway. So first up, I'm going to be taking the red shade Ariel from my ROXXI Revolution Ride or Die palette, and I'm just applying that literally all over the lid. And then to the other eye, I'm just applying a gray shade and just kind of blending all of that out. I'm then taking a concealer to kind of carve out the half cut crease, and I'm applying a white shimmer shade on the left side and a slightly more warm toned one on the right side. Then taking my trusty white liquid liner, I'm creating this multiple winged effect to almost make my liner look like an angel's wing. I'm then doing the same thing to the other side, but with the black liner, obviously for the devil's side. Once I've done that, I'm then creating a little halo on the angel side, and then on the right side, I'm creating this almost like devil's tail effect that's kind of wrapping around my brow. For the lips, I'm going for something really simple and natural, so I'm just going for this peachy nude kind of shade to really balance out with the eye look since it's so top heavy. But yeah, this is the finished look. I feel like with some devil's horns and some angel wings, it's a whole vibe and a costume all in itself. The next look is this Catwoman look inspired by the Batman Returns movie from 1992. This is a very specific representation of that Catwoman, and I just love it so much. So for this look, the first thing you want to do is, of course, mark out where the sort of Catwoman mask is going to sit around your eyes, around your face. Like I said, it's always good to have a guideline / map of where the paint placement is going to be and all that kind of stuff. So once that is finished, I'm then literally going straight in with some black face paint. This is another water-based one from Snazaroo. Now, I probably should have done this first in hindsight, but I'm now going to take my hair into a ponytail at the back of the head, and I'm actually going to take the face paint all the way up to my hairline and then start creating the sort of like detailing on the mask. So as you see here, I'm just kind of going over with some white matte shadow to kind of create the highlights of the mask, like where the highest points of my face would be. And then I'm using my liquid liner to kind of go around the edges of the entire mask to really neaten it up. Again, to add that dimension back into it, I'm then using my white liquid liner to almost go along the seams of like where the mask would kind of be sewn together. Once I'm happy with the amount of detail with that, I'm then just applying some brown eyeshadow to my eyes, a very simple eye look with just some wing liner and some lashes, and then just a red lipstick to finish it. I feel like if you had black hair for this look, it would probably blend into this whole face paint thing even more seamlessly. Also, I'm not exactly happy with the cat ears I've got, but it's the only ones I had laying around. And now the very last Halloween look is this super simple eyeliner, bloody knife kind of effect. I love this so much. It's so simple, really, really easy. And yeah, I feel like, again, you've tried without really trying. So this is how you do it. You basically just grab your white eyeliner and you create the knife shape. So you kind of want to extend the liner like way beyond your eye and what you usually would do. And once you've done that, you want to take your regular black liner and kind of just trace along the edges of what you've just created, and also draw on the little knife handle at the end. I'm then using that red lipstick from earlier on a really thin brush, and I'm just creating the little blood drips on the end of the knife. And then I'm also going in with my white liquid liner to add little highlights to those blood drops to make them look a bit more three-dimensional. You could repeat this whole thing to the other eye as well, but I just opted for a regular wing liner on one side, and then I'm just finishing off with some lashes and some red lipstick. And this is the finished look. I love how fun it is. It's really giving me like thriller / horror film kind of vibes. I am totally here for it. Alright guys, so that was everything for today's video. Those were the 10 different Halloween looks. This video literally took so freaking long to film, so I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know below in the comments which one of these Halloween looks was your favorite. I will also be posting a lot of like TikToks and Reels on my TikTok and Instagram, so make sure you guys follow me on there to watch those. If you want to suggest any other Halloween content for me to film this year, make sure you comment that down below as well. I'm open to suggestions as always. Thank you guys so much for being here and watching this video. If you did enjoy, make sure you subscribe. It's free. You can stick around for more videos like this. But I guess that is all from me, so I hope to see you guys in my next video. Bye! Mwah.